All right, good morning, guys. We are on lesson 3 on page 21 of your workbook. We are on a section called What Are Probabilities? So the first question, it says, which game would you choose to play? Okay, and explain. Game 1, you flip a coin, you win if it comes up heads. Game 2, you roll a dice, standard number cube, and you win if it shows a number that are divisible by 3. Okay, well, when you flip a coin, there are two possibilities, right? Heads or tails. Okay, heads or tails. And as maybe you can see, we got a bold term coming up, sample space. Sample spaces are all the things that can happen. So on a coin, we can flip heads or tails. On a number cube, the sample space would be all the numbers on a dice, 1 through 6. Okay, so how many of these two win? Well, tails. Nope, sorry, heads wins, so 1 out of 2. So 50% chance, fraction would be 1 out of 2. Here are all my possibilities for a dice. How many of those are divisible by 3? 3 can be divided by 3, and 6 can be divided by 3. So 2 out of the 6, or 1/3. So which one gives you a better chance of winning? 1 out of 2 or 1 out of 3? Okay, and hopefully you understand that your chances are better with 1/2 over 1/3. Question 2, what's possible? So now we're going to list the sample space for these situations. The first one, Han rolls a number cube. Okay, anytime you see standard number cube, it just means the dice. Okay, everybody knows what that is, hopefully. Just a regular dice. Okay, so what are all the possibilities to get on that dice? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just answered that up there. And then it says how many total outcomes are there? Well, that is a total of 6 outcomes. 6 possible things can happen. Okay, B. Claire spins the spinner once. What is the sample space? All right, well, what are all the things that can happen? Well, I could get a red, blue, yellow, or green. How many outcomes is that? 4. 4 outcomes. Okay, going to continue on. Kieran is selecting a letter at random from the word math. So just like a spinner, we have 4 possibilities. We can get M, A, T, or H. How many outcomes? 4. Maya is selecting a letter at random from the alphabet. Okay, what is the sample space? You can sing it if you want. So I listed the entire alphabet because she's drawn a letter from the whole alphabet. Anybody know how many letters there are of the alphabet without counting? Because that's our total number of outcomes. 26 letters of the alphabet. E, and Noah is picking a card at random from a stack that has cards numbered 5 through 20. What is the sample space? What are my possibilities? Well, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way to 20. Whoops. Shouldn't have said that all loud. Again, that is the sample space. That's all my possibilities. How many outcomes are there? Well, 1 through 20 would be 20, and then I don't have 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that should be 16 outcomes. Number 2, next compare the likelihood of these outcomes. Be prepared to explain. So remember the 5 choices of certain, impossible, equally likely. Those types of choices, that's what it's asking for here when it asks for likelihood, the 5 choices. Is Kieran more likely to have the spinner stop on red or blue? Okay, so back to the spinner. Is she more likely to have that stop on red or blue? Okay, they both have a 1 out of 4 chance, 1 out of 4 probability, so they should be equal. They have the same exact size on the spinner. Okay, so they are both equally likely. So it's actually giving us 2 choices, and we got to determine which one is more likely. So actually I was wrong about the 5 choices, because it gives us 2, and we just got to compare them. You got to do a better job of reading directions probably, huh? Kieran or Maya more likely to get the letter T. Okay, so if you're drawn from the alphabet, that would be Maya, and Kieran's drawn from the word math. So who's more likely to get the letter T? Well, Kieran has a 1 out of 4 chance. Maya has a 1 out of 26 chance, so hopefully you can say that that is Kieran. C, is Han or Noah more likely to get a number greater than 5? Okay, well, Noah is 1 out of 16. Greater than 5, not 5. So all these are bigger than 5. How about Han? What was he again? He was rolling the dice. Okay, so how many options does he have greater than 5? Just 6. How many options does Noah have greater than 5? So I'm not going to include 5, but I would say he's got a 15 out of 16 chance there. So Noah definitely has more options bigger than 5. Number 3, suppose you have a spinner that's divided equally, showing all the days of the week. You also have a bag of papers that lists the months of the year. Are you more likely to spin the current day of the week or the current month? Okay, so current month, to draw the correct months, we would have a 1 out of 12 chance. There are 12 months, obviously. Days of the week, we'd have the chance of 1 out of 7. So which one gives you a better chance of being correct? Drawing a day of the week or drawing a month? Okay, hopefully you say day of the week. 1 out of 7 is a better chance than 1 out of 12. All right, on the next one. Okay, again, this was one that we were going to do together in groups. I do have a bag here. It says your teacher will give you a bag of slips. Okay, I just put them in a little paper sack here. It says, as a group, guess what is printed in the bags and record your guess. Without looking in the bag, one person takes out a slip, shows it. Everyone records, and you do that 4 times. Okay, so first person. So let's say you're trying to guess what's in here. Any idea? Probably not. Okay, I don't even have a guess. Months. I have no idea what's in here. Okay, so I'm going to draw. And it's the letter H. Okay, putting it back in, picking them up. Now, second person, what do you think is in here? Now you have a little more information to go off of. So this person might say the alphabet, A through Z. Okay, so the second person is going to reach in and draw. It's a K. Maybe the third person says, maybe it is just A through S, since we haven't gotten anything later in the alphabet. So I'm going to draw again. It's an I. So again, not anything really later in the alphabet. Fourth person could guess again. Oh, only need one. Got an I again. Maybe this person said, maybe it's just A through R. Okay, so they're just guessing the sample space here. Notice the first person was a complete guess. Well, these last people had more information to go off. The fourth person should be the closest because they had the most information to go off of after 3 people already pulled the slip out. So how was the guessing the sample space the 4th time different from the first? Well, it's a lot more accurate when you had information to go off of. First person was a complete guess. What could you do to get a better guess? Well, you could draw more papers, do more sampling. Okay, look at all the papers in the bag. I'm not going to dump them out, but I do have a slip to show you what was in there. Do you have a guess after looking at these 4 examples? Okay, here's what was in the bag. Okay, there were 15 letters in there, and it only went to O. So were any of these correct? They were not. They were not correct. Okay, question 4. Are all the possible outcomes equally likely? So was all the chances of me drawing, all the probabilities of me drawing, equally likely? Did I have a 1 out of 15 chance to draw each one of those? Yeah, there's 1 of every letter. So they all should be equally likely. I had a 1 out of 15 chance to draw them all. 5, use the sample space to determine, well, there's the sample space, A through O. Use the sample space to determine the probability to get the same outcome as the first person. So what is the probability of drawing an H? Well, there's 1 H in there out of 15 slips of paper, so that would be the probability. Okay, a couple things to make note of here. The summary has some good terms here. Probability. Probability event is the likelihood that it will occur. So 1 out of 15 chance to draw the letter I'm looking for. It says they're always expressed as a number between 0 and 1. Okay, so fraction or decimal between 0 and 1. 0 means it would never happen, and then 100% of the time happen. So it's either never going to happen, always going to happen, or somewhere in between. Sample space, we talked about that. That's how many, listing all the outcomes. And then a term called random. Okay, so if I roll this dice, it is random. If I roll a dice that has all 5s on it, it is not random. Okay, so some good terms there for you. Your homework for today is on page 25 and 26, all right? Hopefully you guys can continue to stay safe and healthy, and we will talk to you soon.